Oh shit, we live. What's going on, people? How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? Another episode of You Ain't Shit for Watching. I very much appreciate you watching, showing up, tuning in, and all that shit. This is an episode where we're talking about the coronavirus and all the bullshit that comes with it. Basically, the coronavirus got me fucked up. Along with me today is going to be a whole host of panelists and whatnot. But this is a habitual line stepper broadcast. So, as per usual, we're going to step some lines. But the conversation is about the coronavirus. Like I said, I've been to 4 states within this month, and I'm currently negative on my coronavirus test. I took one 3 days ago. Could have changed, but three days ago I was good. I've been around the place, and I really just want to talk about the bullshit surrounding it as far as human beings, your particular city, your state, etc., and how it goes from there. Among other things, I got other people on the panel. I got Kev and Mr. Research. What's going on, y'all?
Yo.
Hey, Donnie, how you doing? Thanks for having another show, sir. We're here to talk about the coronavirus, COVID-19, and the impact that it has on our personal everyday lives. I mean, from what I can see at the grocery store, it sure impacted the toilet paper aisles.
I'm trying to figure out why, out of all the aisles in the store, the toilet, the TP
Shit, that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do during the apocalypse, man. You just, you gotta have enough toilet paper to wipe your ass in the end. I want to go in Armageddon with a clean butt, man. But it's to me is like at first, to me the hysteria was ridiculous. I didn't really care. I would say. I thought that people were overreacting. I thought people die from stupid shit every year. And the coronavirus was no different. But when you really start to think about it, how many old people in your family you know that has compromised immune systems? Because it's taking folks out just like that. It's just taking people out. So I think that it is something to worry about, especially if you got older sick family members. I think that you should actually listen to the media this time and take the necessary precautions, stuff that you're supposed to know anyway. You know, common sense things like washing your hands, using hand sanitizer, not touching your face. You know, this if you do those things, you should be okay. But for those who catch COVID-19, I hope you're healthy. I mean, that's all I can say.
Well, I'll tell you this, Donnie. I'm 26 years in medical. One of the reasons why a lot of people rush into the tissue, because one of the symptoms is uncontrollable diarrhea. So even if you get a mild case of it, you're going to be crapping like constantly until.
Is that what it is? So people is having they with the shits, literally.
Yeah. So it's like, unfortunately, sometimes with us as Black folks, we get stuck in the assumptions or the myths of stuff. Well, what happened is part of the symptoms is your throat, your chest. You got to hit at least a 104 temperature for them to take it serious, though. So some people, like even in my case, I had a tight chest, inflammation of lungs, and a sore throat. So I had a mild case of it. But again, that comes with the craps too.
So did you test positive?
No, I ain't even go take the test. I already knew I had it by my symptoms. I had a mild case of it. I wasn't worried because my fever never reached to a high peak. So the thing that kills you is a combo of the fever and the inflammation of lungs. That combined will screw you off.
That's wild. Okay.
See, I knew this back in November, like on my other channel is a news channel. And I told everybody on that news channel back in November when it was happening, because there was a lab in Wuhan. A lot of people blamed it on the market, but there was a lab in Wuhan. And the reason I know this, and you can Google it yourself, just to let you know I ain't throwing out no fantastical nonsense. General Chen. If you Google General Chen virus, you'll see they brought this lady out of retirement to help fix that. So from us in medical, what we were concerned with is the fact that it mutated 3 times within 2 weeks. Nothing's ever done that. But I share the mic on that.
Yeah, because in Philadelphia it's COVID, it's SARS COVID, right? Whereas before it was something else.
Yeah, unfortunately, they be giving regular people misleading information. H1N1, H1N2, these are just classifications. So H1N1 is really just basically saying that it's you can contract it. So I don't know why the news puts stuff like that out there, because it's confusing. And there are several types of coronaviruses. You see what I'm saying? So I don't even know why they put that out. You got to really isolate it down to what they done picked now, which is COVID-19. I just personally feel like it's a bioweapon that went wrong. Because like I said, it originated out of that area where that lab is, where General Chen had to run to. And she's been there ever since for the past 3 months. So that's not a coincidence. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's actual documented.
That's something you looked up. You didn't follow the paperwork, and it's
yeah.
No, it's a whole article. Yeah, I read it myself.
Yeah. So the fact that they had to pull her out of retirement is weird within itself. And she went to that particular hotspot lab. That means it originated there. She didn't go to that lab to try to fix the virus. She could have did that anywhere. She went to the hotspot lab. That means it originated there. And so somebody screwed up. And when I saw that one dude, they said they let him in Seattle. I was like, whoa, why did they let that dude in Seattle? What? And they said, oh, he took a plane and a train back home. I said, oh man,
what now?
There was one dude when it first started happening. There was one dude who they let, because like it happened in November, but nobody was really talking about it. So on my channel, I was putting it up. So by January, they said this one dude made it to Seattle. But I was like, wait a minute, why didn't they close down anybody coming from China? Anybody landing a plane in China? I mean, they should have shut down everything. And when that one dude went there, I said, nah, man, they shouldn't have let that dude land. And they said he didn't land. He caught a plane that landed and then caught a train into Seattle. I said, oh,
so let me ask you, you said this happened in November. This was really kicking off in November, right?
Yeah, this kicked off in November, but people started reporting it in January.
So this is why they're saying that it has been quietly spreading in the community for months.
December, I was sick for 2 weeks and we thought it was the flu. The whole household caught it and we was fucked up. And I had to go back to using an asthma inhaler during this whole sickness. And I said something to my significant other, I think 2 days ago. I was like, do you think that we could have possibly caught this shit a while ago and we just didn't know it? And she was like, nah, I don't think so. But that makes sense.
Bro, it's about to be a whole post made about you now, about that. you had the coronavirus. You the outbreak monkey.
I'm the outbreak monkey. He just spread it in the U.S.
How dare you?
Hey, nigga, I'm trying to protect y'all.
Man, niggas out of work, man. Niggas out of work.
Hey, Donnie don't got no job. What you mean? He already unemployed.
I'm like Tommy, nigga. I'm like Tommy, nigga. I got a job, but I ain't got a job.
You just be in other countries and you don't know. You're instant transmission across the pond to get to different places because you ain't getting no money right now. You know that. You're supposed to be in jail.
But as far as the virus goes, aside from the symptoms and everything else, how is it affecting your daily life?
Honestly, let me say this.
Everybody's in different states. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that the mass hysteria is worse than the actual disease right now, because I was saying this on. Well, I know that it's real. I'll say that, but since we already know it's already been bubbling, people could have been already infected already. Could have already been here. It was the whole situation was downplayed or not even mentioned to avoid whatever they were trying to avoid. But now we here. It's here. But I think that some people there's two sides of the spectrum. Some people just don't give a fuck. They don't care. We got people at spring break right now. Huh?
Like and subscribe, goddammit. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got people at spring break right now that don't care. They're like, all right, whatever. And then we got people who are extremely cautious and they really just don't want to fuck with it, don't want to get it. I mean, I get it. But, and then you got the people in the middle that conspiracy theorists, and you got people who don't know what to believe. There's so many different things that are going on right now. Honestly, I think that the government should just be straight up, tell us exactly what we're dealing with, and then go from there.
He can't do that because 2 years.
I get why
the government has people don't read. That's what the issue is. People do not read. If you go to the World Health Organization, it says exactly what the strategic plan is for the next however many months. They tell you exactly what the issue is, what they're trying to neutralize, and what they're trying to do to fix this shit. But people don't read that. They following the CDC.
Well, see, I get that. I understand that because I'm military. I knew probably, I want to say 2 to 3 hours ahead of time before the president actually even addressed what the other day. So we have an inside line on things. So I can come to my family and say, okay, this is what we're dealing with. And this is what we need to do as a unit. But it's so many different fronts. Like, how do you reach the people who don't read? You know?
Well, see, here's the problem, though. If Trump was to say that, he has to admit that he cut the funding 2 years ago. Now that conversation comes in. So the less he says for him, the better for him. This is why this is why Pence is doing most of the strategic talking, and he just sitting there with his arm.
He threw Pence out there because he's not a strategic talker. He's a clown.
Right.
So he had to put Pence out there because he's an entertainer. He's not a president.
Yeah, what I'm saying, Darth kind of wants him to do something he can't do, because if he starts talking like that, then he has to admit, well, I cut all the funding 2 years ago. So
he's not gonna admit to that. Like, when that lady asked him, he like dodged the fuck out of that question. I was just kind of like, wow, like, you did it. He don't want to admit to it. He sees people are starting to like realize like this is kind of your fault. So now he's like, hey, everybody get $1,000. What? Nigga, help us.
Don't take that money.
When Thailand is doing better than the USA, you know something wrong.
Ain't that about a bitch? I got a trip next month. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get there, but they doing better than us.
You can't get on a plane anyway, man. You're on a national watch. You're on a national watch list for your crimes against humanity, Donnie.
Wait a minute. Who's doing better than us again?
Thailand is doing better with their medical response than we are.
You cut out when you said the name. What country?
A third world country.
Thailand.
Oh shit.
Actually, South Korea is doing better than us too. I think they done did several thousand tests on their people. We I don't even think we cracked.
They do 10,000 tests a day. They do 10,000 tests a day, and they're all
we have
they quarantine.
I accidentally.
Oh, all right. Go ahead. Donnie. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, who was the country that executed like the first person that caught it? What country was that?
North Korea.
Yeah, North Korea don't play them.
Yeah, that was Kim Jong-un.
Hey, forget that. What about China? China was locking and welding people in their homes.
Oh shit!
With a
Were they at least feeding them? God damn!
Look, go on YouTube. Put in locked in home China virus. You'll see a man, a blowtorch and all padlocks. They locking them up. Hey, we gonna leave y'all there to die. That's how his numbers.
That we also have to address that animals are carriers as well. That they don't talk about that enough.
They had their first dog die from the coronavirus.
Yeah, they're starting to say that the dogs are dying now, and that's going to be a problem too.
That's because the dogs, the cats, the birds, and the bats have this shit too. That's the whole point. So if your kitty cat or your dog is over in a corner sneezing and pooting and shit, you might want to put the dog outside.
What? Well, the big problem is when birds or cats get it, because cats have something called feline AIDS, and I'm kind of scared of that because it's like if the cats or the birds get it, it'll mutate yet again. Because
that's why I said you need to go on the WHO website because they are specifically singling out birds and bats, cats and dogs.
Well, here's the thing: the coronavirus already existed before. There was a strain that was affecting camels in, like, Saudi Arabia, wherever the hell they were. And these different types of strains have been around, and they've had different labels. This is just a different strain. That's all it is. Or people are saying, well, this came from this place. It came from that place. I wish people would stop with the bullshit and just stop trying to say, oh, it's a Chinese virus. I hate that they're doing that.
Why do you dislike that?
Because it's just the same virus. It's just a different version of it. Doesn't matter where it came from. It's just a different version of a pre-existing virus that we already, well, not many people knew already existed.
You know what? I'm anti-that because anytime some shit comes out of Africa, it's the African Ebola, the nigga virus, all that shit. You know what? Yeah, it's the Chinese coronavirus, in my opinion.
But let me ask this question then. When there were different diseases, viruses, and stuff that came from the United States, how come it wasn't called the American virus or whatever? How come we didn't the mad cow disease?
No, that came from England.
Which one came from here? There was plenty of stuff that came from here.
So you came with mad cow. I can't. That doesn't mean that it's not.
Did you say? Oh yeah, AIDS did. Yeah, you're right.
They called it the gay virus.
Let's be honest.
And they called that the AIDS virus, didn't they? And
the problem with AIDS is that it was also, they didn't classify it as AIDS, but the Roman bathhouses had the exact same symptoms as AIDS. There was a Roman bathhouse disease back in the day. And this is like documented, and it wiped out like 1/5 of the population at that time. And it says, and I quote, you probably can find it if you put it originated out of the bathhouses of Rome. And that's what they speculated HIV.
You said what year was this?
I can't quote the year. I know the phrase goes.
Do you have a general roundabout?
I'll look it up for you while you guys talk. Go ahead.
This is what I'll say, because I don't want to come off as anti-gay. You get out how you feel or whatever the case is, but it's one of my coworkers is gay, and he informed me of what bathhouses were. So I had an idea before. I had no fucking idea after he talked to me. I can very much understand how a disease like that would spread in the bathhouse. Some of the shit I heard had my whole fucking mind explode. Apparently people will go in there from 8 to 6 and dick to dick to dick. It's hard to say HIV didn't spread in these bathhouses from what I'm hearing, but I don't know. I don't have a degree in the shit. Could be very wrong, but the shit I heard is insane.
Well, I'm sure something spread it in those bathhouses, but AIDS was created in a lab. So
yes, there's a patent.
Because the shit I just heard had me damn near sick to my stomach. This man said he had 17 men in one day. I said, nigga, you wasn't tired? Nah, it depends on the lube you use.
Yeah, we're going to change the
shit.
We're going to change the subject on
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where to go after that.
Yeah.
All right, I got
it. We sitting down at lunch and this shit. I'm like, nigga, I'm eating chicken, nigga. What's I supposed to do with this?
He was eating chicken.
So it's 270 AD after death or after Christ. The plague of Sopherian and the plague of Antoine. That's what they were. So that's what those were. And they said it came out the bathhouse. I'm not a hater of what any nationality does, but as a person that's traveled a lot, man, like let's just put India in the mix real quick.
Oh.
When I got down to India, they don't have a lot of water.
No.
And I was seeing people bathe in filth. And then there are hairy people. Right.
Not and then
no, this is the whole different thing.
It's a whole different thing. So when like if you notice, well, I noticed because I'm in the financial part of health. But we had to, as America, increase our chlorine in the pools now because of some of the people who've come here now after NAFTA. The diseases that were still in the pools, we had to up the chlorine. So now you'll look at these signs that they put on your pool and on your hot tubs at your gyms and whatever will say the things that we use for chlorine can create cancer. We never had that before as a health community until we start dealing with people of other nationalities with other bathing type of things that they do. But that's just documented. I ain't trying to make it up.
Well, I think that's because people of other nationalities take this stance that dark people are dirtier than they are because their skin is white or lighter. So they go to the extreme to sanitize. And different than they end up killing themselves in the process. It's like stupid. It's like mixing ammonia and bleach.
I saw somewhere where someone was saying like, we as Black people, we shouldn't shower every day because we're washing away dirt and germs that protect us from stuff like this. Like Black people don't clean yourselves; it'll protect us from the coronavirus.
Come from Pigpen, from fucking Charlie Brown.
No, you know who it came from? What that dude, Nature Boy. I was just like, ew.
Nature Boy.
And I know they don't shower.
Some people.
I asked one of their members, and he was like, "No, we just, they basically take whole baths."
Yeah. Some people come from countries, or their parents come from countries that don't have the level of toxicity that France, England, and America has. So if you grew up in a little area of Africa, it may seem dirty to everybody else, but it's not nearly as contaminated as some of these other places that you try to do that. So their theory of doing that is correct for their region or their grandma's region. But when you start coming around areas where the toxicity is higher, you don't want to do that.
I don't even know. I can't even say. I've seen motherfuckers take cold ass showers and scrub the fuck up out their body with what little water they had. So I don't know.
Man, nah, you know what? Even I don't know. That's just the way people are sometimes raised. Even when I was in Iraq and we was on mission for like 5-6 days and we didn't have running water, I would use the bottled water, had soap and a towel to still wash regardless. Because you got to, man. I don't see how people can live and just smell their own funk, just living in their own dirt and filth.
You gotta get the armpits. You gotta get you gotta get all that. You gotta get it under the balls.
Man, no, remember that post where someone said it was a general question. They said, do you wash behind your legs? And the amount of people who didn't do it, they said because the water runs down their body, so they don't have to. I was like, yo, I'm unfriending anybody who said they
never saw that, but
yes,
not wash.
Yeah,
look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
Yeah, they were saying the soap and the water runs down their legs. Like I seen one lady was like, I don't wash below her like vagina. From her thighs down, she said she didn't wash.
Some people don't wash their feet because the water's already. They said the water's already hitting your feet anyway. Why you got to wash it? I'm like, yo.
Yeah,
and they have green toenails.
The
truth.
They got toe cheese and wonder why their feet falling off at age 45.
Show the video, show your toes, Bianca. Let's see what them look like. So you talking.
Hold on, I'm about to help you
No,
out.
I'm kidding. Listen, we don't have no foot fetish around here.
You don't start it. Somebody gonna see her feet. You're like, I like her.
She got
shout out to the people in the comment section.
Well, you know what they say, man. I mean, on the streets, they say, you could tell how clean a woman keep herself by her toes or her lack of toe jam. So, hey.
I always went by ears. That bitch had some nasty ears. I didn't want nothing to do with they nookie.
No, check the belly button. If you like take like a napkin and rub in their belly button, they're nasty. Like,
how did we get here?
Take a napkin.
How did we get here? Oh, we got feet. We got feet.
Close. Close.
Those look like some well pedicured feet.
So out of everybody on the panel, I think everybody's in a different state, more or less. Yeah, everybody's in a different state from what I know. How is your state treating this virus? The people in your state acting, etc.
I'm at home right now, man. They're what they're doing as far as the base goes and military wise is as far as my shop, we're taking a week off. So I'm off for this week and then I'll work next week. And then we're going to alternate. And then each of us are getting our own individual computer. And between shifts, we're wiping things down. As far as the city goes, the city is closed right now. Some people are still having to work. Supermarkets in different places are closed. Like I was telling you on the other panel, Sister George, I went to go pay my mortgage yesterday and they were closed. Like straight up, nah, you good. Go back home. I was like, oh, so I can keep my money? They're like, no, drop it off in the Dropbox, but we're not letting you in to pass it over to us.
I'm not touching that shit, your dirty money. Fuck out of here.
So I mean, but no, it's a ghost town pretty much, man. The different places that are usually busy are absolutely empty. Airports are different. People are not traveling as much. More people are staying inside. Contact is like very minimal.
Traveling.
Yeah, people are traveling because it's distant.
I'm just saying from my specific location, like the park I went to try to go running this morning, the entire park was shut down. Just stuff like that, man. It's just a new different thing. But if you're an introvert, this shit ain't really bothering you.
What about you, Gab? How was your city? Gab's not on here. Mr. Research, sorry.
So I have to drive into San Francisco to work. I work from home and I drive into San Francisco. And I went there yesterday, 11 o'clock. It was a ghost town. Ghost town. Like
everything shut down.
Huh? You probably saw, I think on my way driving, I might have saw a total of 50, 60 people and maybe 1/3 of that was running, jogging and exercising. All the stores, gates closed, everything locked down now.
What about you, Bianca? I know you're in the South.
Yeah, I'm in Florida where people are stupid. I don't really know any other way to describe it.
They still hanging out at the beach.
I mean,
Florida man is
outside.
in every news station.
It's warm outside. And they're just doing what they want to do. It's like it doesn't affect them. They don't see it, so they don't believe it. But it's so many people walking around with scratchy throats and this little cough and this runny nose, and they're just ignoring it. So, I mean, I went into work yesterday and told them I ain't doing it. I called in all last week. I'm a disabled vet. I can do it. And
working the system there.
Hey, look, I'm gonna put that to work today.
Well, this is the rub. I told my boss because she was my trainer, like she was my first supervisor. I just told her straight up, like, what I'm getting from up north, because I got people connected up north, this isn't just a okay situation. Like, y'all up in here and it's supposed to be 10 people in a group and we have a building filled with at least 100 people. Like, y'all tripping. And y'all in here playing ping pong with the coughs? I'm going home. She was like, oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. Today they sent out an email. They sent everybody home.
Well, you know what? It's just like when Rudy got it from the NBA. Everybody is play. They don't take it serious until it's possible they can go to ICU. Or they done made somebody else go. Now you start feeling guilty.
Well, I know someone got sent home today, and I don't know if she had it, but they said she was really sick. So, but I wasn't there. I was here because I work from home now. So, and I started preparing 3 weeks ago. Let's be clear.
Oh, so you got a amount of toilet paper at the crib, huh?
Oh, no. I got enough to last, but yeah.
I got a regular amount, but I got a bidet, so I can't really talk.
That's why
he's fancy now.
I've been to France, nigga. It's special down there. In Japan, they got it too. No.
True.
What about you, Ray? You in the South, I know. So what is it like out there for you?
So y'all know I'm in Dallas or whatever. So as far as work goes, I'm working every other day. Like this week, I'm working Tuesdays and Thursdays and still get 40 hours. So when they announced that whole 10 people building, my job cut down like half of the people working. So we're sitting every other chair. And it's a hot mess because it's still hundreds of people in that building. I'm like, what the fuck? So now they're like getting laptops together. They've been sending out email. Do you have Do you have a headset? Do you have a mouse, keyboard, monitor, high-speed internet? I was like, here we go. As far as like, I went outside today. Right outside my door is a playground. They blocked off the playground. My kids still be going outside, but my kids was like, we can't play at the park. I'm like, dang. Stores are bad. I went to the dentist though today, so hey, still got to keep my teeth right. But other than that, it's still busy out here. It's just people are kind of cautious.
Can I go back to this one point real quick that Donnie made? We as Black folks, we got to understand when we're defending our cause or defending other people's cause. I call this the China NAFTA virus. I think it's a bioweapon going on. But when sometime our Black people, we say, oh man, I don't like labeling other folks. I just wish people would step up and stop white folks from calling it the African this or the Black that. Have that same passion and that same energy when they're talking about your people, because at the end of the day, they make these imaging things to protect folks. I noticed how people rushed out to protect China. Oh no, we don't want them to victimize. What are you talking about? It came from over there. I mean, what do you? I just don't understand how we as a people sometimes be like, we're so protective of other countries and other ethnicities. We go march, and then when it comes to us, the same energy ain't there.
Well, for myself, the reason why I even said something like that in the first place is because I think that it opens up an avenue to go everywhere else but the way we need to go, as far as like finding out what's going on, figuring out a solution, and what we need to do across the board to protect ourselves from it. I don't care where the fuck it came from. I just want to know what I need to do to protect myself and my family. So when you're putting it out there, as far as like the media and stuff like that, with the news interviews with the president and all that good stuff, that's fine. But I don't want the subject matter to change from what the task at hand needs to be done, as far as that goes. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck where it came from, but can we just figure out what needs to happen instead of spending 30 minutes on, hey, the president said this. Can we figure out what needs to happen, and what do these individual people out here who don't look for the information that's out there, like Bianca was talking about, instead of spending too much time on what all the ins and outs, can we figure out what needs to be happening, and then put that information out there instead? Because now you're going to say, yo, the Chinese virus and that.
Well, I will say this. Here's the main thing. Hey, China, Nixon tried to help you. Bush tried to help you. Can you please stop inventing this stuff? Can you please? Can it please stop coming from there? That way we don't have to say it's
young. It came from China. China is telling us to be transparent, so they must feel like it's something in the wind.
So you think it's something else going on that we're not being told?
I think that the timing of this after that whole Iran situation is just very interesting.
Too convenient.
I will say this, Bianca, Wuhan is almost in the middle of China, nowhere near an airport. So I don't know.
Well, remember they had those drills, Russia, China, and Iran. So, and this happened right after that as well. So I just feel like the timing of it is very interesting. So I'll just say that. But this is why I say it's important for us to know how this shit transfers. Fuck the bullshit. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be. At this point, the will is already
going right there. Can we figure out what needs to be? Go ahead, man.
Well, I have a question. I have something to say. Isn't there like a CDC in Atlanta? So if something gets out in that building, that then we would have some shit on our hands, because obviously some got out over there.
What do you mean?
I mean, what I mean is, if something gets out in Atlanta, wouldn't it be from America then? I mean, would they be blaming us?
The CDC doesn't hold viruses there. That's not the purpose of CDC. They don't hold viruses there. So they don't do research there.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. What hub does that?
That's mostly at military facilities, and it's kind of really isolated out somewhere. Like, ain't nothing out there, like almost desert-like, because they don't want it to do exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something like that as far as like a high traffic area, as far as Atlanta, that'd be the dumbest place to hold anything, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like people come from all over the place to go there and leave from there. So that would be very dangerous.
I want to say something. Can we as Black people stop with the notion that we can't catch it? And please stop traveling to countries full of Black people just because it's a low amount.
We are immune. How dare you? I cannot catch it. I will never get sick. How dare you?
Somebody was just like, oh, Jamaica only has one case. Bullshit. They're only telling you that because they don't want
Jamaica
the tourists.
Only had one test.
Look, do they understand that Jamaica is not prepared to deal with the pandemic like that? If it hit them hard, they're not prepared to even deal with that kind of shit. So they need to stop with that bullshit.
No, not at all.
Yeah, people just want, I don't know, it's weird. I know it's there. I know it's there in Jamaica. I have family there that's telling me, but they're trying to keep it low. They don't want, America to find out. Because they don't want
I will say, if we're smart, I think that we're a little more resilient. I'll say that. However, I just think people need to stop being stupid and go sit their dumb asses down somewhere and prepare for whatever.
Y'all saw that white man? He got the coronavirus and they got the cops watching him nonstop because he don't want to isolate himself.
Because you don't want to what?
Who? He don't want to self-quarantine.
He doesn't want to self-quarantine.
Oh man, you know what?
Hey, Sean, I'm gonna drop off for a minute. You run the show.
Oh, you sure you want me to run into the ground, man? I'm gonna mess it up. No, you got it, man.
Oh, it's time to act up, Bianca. Let's take over.
I know, right?
Nah, nigga, I'm still here. You
snap.
He said he got to step out for a minute. Man, no, I think what Bianca was saying is right on point. People need to sit their ass down and stop thinking that it can't affect them, because it can. Everybody was fine. I live in Mississippi. First, I'm thinking like, shoot, man, I live in Mississippi, man. They don't come to me. And the next thing you know, we got people at the colleges that were having it, like 2 and 3 people, because what happened was they had traveled to different places and they came back, and then they're on campus and end up infecting people. The problem is the gestation period. You don't know you have it. Or by the time you start getting better, you've already infected so many other people and they don't even know. So that's the entire thing in a nutshell, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and what's so funny is when people come to ICU, they're shocked because the Superman done melted off the chest. It ain't an S no more, and they wondering where the S went. And it's like, but we always try to tell people, man, hey, look, don't be playing as if something strange can't happen. You know what I'm saying? We had this one European chick, and I don't know what was in her genetics, but she had a simple punch in the face, and her face swole up like she was an alien.
And nothing simple about that.
Yeah, we were walking around like it must be something in her
Whoever
genetics.
punched her is those are the genetics you need to find out about.
Damn, One Punch Man hit her one time, man.
It's like Wolverine punched her in the face.
But I think people sometimes be taking their own health for like, I'm all right, it's gonna be all right. All right, everything changes when you hit ICU. Oh my God, I never thought.
Yeah, I mean, well, and like I was having, what's up?
No, I was gonna say that's what I was seeing today, Bianca. I kind of feel bad for you because you're in a state full of idiots. Like I was seeing, like,
oh, don't feel bad for me, baby. I'm one of the smart ones. I literally am not leaving this house at all.
Little white kids were just like, we've been planning for this spring break for 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm not letting this ruin it. I was like,
black kids too now. I was pissed.
It is, but you know what? They don't realize they're gonna take it, get it there, and bring it home.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was mad about, because I think I shared a post on Facebook, and same thing. They were like, well, we've been planning. One girl was like, I just turned 21. It's time to turn up. And I was like, okay, so you mean to tell me you couldn't wait a year after we figured this whole thing out and then go a year later when you're 22? It doesn't matter what age you became. They're not looking forward to thinking, you know what? If I come down here with all these people congregating one place, they already have an act stating that don't go gather within 10 people. First it was 50, then 10. And you're going to spring break, getting with all these different people. You're going to possibly bring it back to your community and wherever you come from, and then spread it that way. But they don't think forward and being extremely selfish and stupid by thinking, I'm just going to come down here, drink, have fun, have sex, and then go back home.
Well, I think the best thing we've done so far is to stop the kids from going to school, because little young kids, their immune system's on high. They were born into this, so they are less likely to get these diseases. But you mess around and give them a strain or something, 1 or 2, 300 or 1,000 kids might mutate it into something else, and then you take it home, and now mommy and daddy is done. So that's the smartest thing. Like here in California, there's no more school for right now, the end of March, but they're thinking about doing it for the end of the whole year.
So let me ask you this, man. What's your profession?
I work in medical finance. I do all the coding, the billing, the paperwork, everything.
So, I mean, just being in that area in the first place, what have you seen being in that whole area anyway? What have you seen change?
Just how quickly everything. One thing about them, they came out the woodwork even before the president. Nah, all this is shut down. Forget it. We ain't even gonna try. All this is shut down. We finna build some houses for the homeless. They taking over warehouses and letting people put their tents in there. They don't care. They ready to spend money and anything to stop it. Coal in his tracks.
Damn, they just gave up like that.
I mean, better than look. Here's the thing. We don't want it to mutate again, because like Bianca was talking about Bert, I don't even want to hear. That's why I shot. That's why when she started talking that, I put my hands over my ears. I don't even want to hear about the birds getting it, because that's a whole nother level of infection, man.
Yeah,
and
because once you introduce something like that to a natural ecosystem that's able to be spread, especially through airborne means like birds. And
I mean, well, if it's 4 amino acids, it's 4 amino acids from a disease that affects bats. So if this is something that originated in bats, and it's something that can be transmitted from animals to humans, because this is how it supposedly originated, then I think that the birds were probably more at risk before we were.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying common sense.
Especially them Chinese birds down there. It's a reference.
Like, I just feel like we're really not really thinking clearly as to how it even was introduced to us. So if it came by animal, then that means the animals really they already hit to it.
And that's what I was talking about earlier about the strain that did exist. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but it was in the Middle East, and it was able to be spread from camels to humans. And realistically, they couldn't just go kill all the camels. They couldn't just do that.
At all.
Right. So they're like, all right, we can't do that. So they had to let it run its course. But like Bianca's saying, man, we have to get to the root of how it even started in the first place. Figure out, what the far reach is, and then go from there. But like, if we're
be
getting
smart about how we address it.
Thank you.
Very smart.
Well, I just hope General Chen.
General,
I'm praying for her every night. Hopefully, she figures that out and reverses this crap. And you know what? To the whole thing with the camel, they darn sure can't kill it. They can't slaughter them camels. That would end traveling like instantly. It's like nowhere.
Now, when I was over in Africa, we would be on the ECPs, their entry control points, and we would get like stray camels just coming up. And one of the guys was like, "Yo, can I shoot it?" I'm like, "Bro, if you shoot it, first of all, it's gonna be an international incident, and then second of all, do you understand how much a camel is worth here?" Because there were people that were like farming camels, like, bro, they're gonna take that out of your check, and you don't got enough stripes to really pay for that. Like, your family's gonna have to pay for that shit,
right? Yeah,
but like, yeah, it was crazy because that's a part of travel. They didn't have cars. A lot of them didn't have cars over there. They were traveling on camels, so they couldn't just kill all the camels just because of this one thing. Somebody brought it up. They said, "Look, it's on the back of Lysol. It's been out here. It's the coronavirus." I'm like, "Yo, that's one strain." We understand that the coronavirus already exists. Yes, it's on the back of Lysol cans, but this Lysol might not fuck with the coronavirus that's out there right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's just the reality of the whole thing. I'm sorry.
At least we don't have the zombies.
Well, I would just stay away from that cure.
Man, just stay in the house. Shit.
Right.
Like, they told
Y'all
me,
know something crazy? Like somebody brought this to my attention. This is gonna be the last thing I say before I get off of here. That in Italy, because human interaction is not going on for real outside. I think it was like the canal is clearing up and swans are coming back, and the fish, you can start seeing the fish in some of the water because humans were kind of disgusting. So
no more.
Right. So it's just like, it's crazy, like how even though this is a big thing, that much less interaction us humans are with outside in nature, it's coming back.
We're destructive.
Yes, those are the pluses to it. We really do need to sit down. I think this is a good time for everybody to get reconnected.
Yep.
To themselves and to each other on a humanistic level. I think they could have went about it a different way because they did this, but they didn't expect this to be the outcome. They didn't realize that we're the ones that really generate the money that you are hoarding. So if we're not working for you like the slaves that we are, then how are you going to continue to make money? So now you're panicking. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Wait, did you see the monkeys in, I think it was China? Like, the people feed the monkeys out there, and now that they're not being fed, the monkeys are going nuts. Like, they were trying to jump one monkey that happened to find a banana. They were
having monkey games in the streets.
Let me tell you. So I backpacked in Southeast Asia. There's an island called Monkey Island. It's like Korong Samloem or whatever, full of monkeys. Monkeys is fucking evil. Monkeys will gang jump you. I was walking down the street and I seen a monkey and I was like, oh, how cute. And I seen another monkey and it was like, oh, and he did like a gang call. It was like 75 monkeys came. I was running like a motherfucker. Yo, monkeys that'll be the first motherfuckers to catch it because they aggressive about their shit.
They shit at you too.
Here's the thing: when you're a human and you're interacting with nature, literally just breaking up the entire natural cycle of things, and then you are feeding them, you're taking away their need to have to feed themselves. So then, when you take away the human factor, now these monkeys who become dependent, this is their natural habitat is you feeding animals. So now they're actually being animals. Now they're fighting. Because it is survival of the fittest in nature. So the human factor is gone. You're not tourists anymore. You're not throwing food out at them. Now they actually fight each other to eat because that whole factor that we introduce is gone.
And luckily the monkeys grow up in a place where they're not hunted, because if they were in some of these countries, the monkeys wouldn't be making it. They'd be straight back to the trees like they're supposed to be. The
way it is now, some of the monkeys probably about to get ate.
Man, do not get in
your ass, because they will beat your ass. Don't get it twisted. These monkeys,
a monkey is stronger than a motherfucker. A monkey is stronger than a motherfucker. Seriously, 3 times the strength of a human being.
Yeah,
they will rip you apart.
That face off. Like, there was I think it was a show. Getting off the subject, there was a show about there was a woman. She was having monkeys, chimpanzees as pets. And something happened to where one chimpanzee thought that she was showing more attention to the other one. And
is that Jane Austen?
I don't know. They ended up killing her though. They ripped her face off. They jacked her up. By the time the cops came there, they couldn't even recognize the body because they had fucked her up that bad.
They ripped her to shreds.
Yeah, monkeys is like Crips.
Oh, is this the monkey that attacked the lady?
Say that again.
Is this the monkey that attacked the lady?
Yeah, it is. The monkey attacked the lady because I think maybe 2 or 3 of them.
She had raised him at first.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But monkeys thought that she was showing favoritism, and then boom, like, all right, man, we're gonna take you out of the picture, and she just don't keep monkeys as pets, people.
They might have had that corona. Makes them aggressive.
Maybe, but no. So what are you guys individually doing to occupy your time? While you're self-quarantined.
I've been organizing, eating good, chilling, working, and organizing my house. That's it.
Yeah, what you been doing, man?
Playing more video games, making sure my daughter's getting her work done. They be sending us some stuff through the email, and just is when it's teaching instead of just making sure you do the homework. Right. It's a whole different dynamic. So I mean, just chilling basically. Just sitting back and waiting for this thing to blow over. I mean, we got enough food, toilet paper, water, whatever the store's running out of, we got it. So,
Mr. Research, what about you, man?
Just trying to strategize something better in my career. So now they pulled me over to dermatology. So I'm going to be sitting up there doing some of that stuff, trying to add to my little career portfolio on what I know how to do.
Okay, so we're just some focusing and strategizing, huh?
Yep.
Johnny, what you been doing, man? Being unemployed already as it is. Okay, he's gone. I thought he was on. Same as Kevin. I just been playing video games a lot more, man. Getting back into tech stuff and stuff. That's about it, man. Trying to keep my daughter from getting out of the house because she wants to do and be everywhere, and I'm trying to make her understand how serious this could possibly be. She doesn't really grasp the whole concept, so we're like, look, how about you sit down for a change? You can't go everywhere and be everywhere.
Hey, I just wanted to make an irony joke. I thought tech was so great. Shouldn't they have fixed this by now?
Well, this is a biological thing, so
but tech said it can do everything. Tech keeps saying it's changing the world.
That's a what's the word I'm looking for? That's extremely pretentious and a false statement. I'll say that.
I'm just waiting for the Indians and the Pakistanis to take run their cable over in India and create a new Silicon Valley, and then that'll wipe all this out.
You know what the funny thing about it is? This virus is extremely sophisticated, but it is simple as well, the way it works. And basically, it's using your body to create itself and then replicate and spread inside your body. By the time your body figures out what the hell's going on and to create any antibodies, you're kind of fucked if you already have some underlying health issues. So all I can say is, man, stay healthy, as healthy as possible, so you can fight it if you do get affected by it. But I am enjoying I am enjoying the time off because I had migraine headaches for like almost 2 to 3 days.
That is the best part.
So let me ask y'all, since we're on the conversation of the off time and not right, what do y'all think about Trump and his administration talking about they paying?
I don't even like going outside. Just knowing that there's people out there that are sick.
We was having a whole conversation without you, man, because we was going around the panel asking what people were doing with their newfound time off, and you was AI, you was
Xbox Life,
Xbox Life. So now, what were you saying, Bianca? I'm sorry, she's gone. So what were you saying, Donnie?
Basically, I'm asking, what do people feel with Trump and his old administration talking about they paying people?
People think they about to get rich, man. They don't understand it. That little check ain't gonna do nothing for you if this thing lasts for more than 2 months.
Man, what was that check like $300 or something like that? They said 1,000, but I mean that depending on if you got like a family setting, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, it's hard for him to do because the 1% tax thing has already created an eggshell. So I'm looking at 22, 23. We're going to have a recession, if not sooner. So that's hard for him to go up. He's supposed to go 7 Gs, like Andrew Yang was talking about. It's supposed to be 7 Gs. The whole purpose in giving people money is so that Wall Street will be less affected through spending. But trying to do it for a G or less really has no effect.
Man, Ms. Research, you're bringing up a great point because people think that it's just to help them. Is not. There's a bigger picture to why money is being given out, because they don't want a recession to happen. They want to try to figure out some kind of way to mitigate the damage that people not working is going to create because of this whole thing, or people not spending more or less.
Yeah, because not spending affects Wall Street because the numbers don't move, and
if Wall Street is affected, what else happens?
Yeah, the recession and everything drops.
Exactly. So if you're a new business owner, or if you feel like making a damn food service industry and you deliver, man, you better get it popping right now.
Let me also say this about Trump. It's like the virus has really affected his ability to have these crowd comedy shows. And it's like, my thing is, I wonder by the time Trump is able to talk to his base again, how many people will have been positively affected or negatively affected? Because if too many people are negatively affected, that's going to look a bad thing on his readiness, man. It's going to look terrible.
Well, me being military, I really can't speak on that whole line of talking.
Trump is done.
Trump is back then stronger than ever. He said he gave motherfuckers $50. That's enough for him.
Well, you know what? I did see a video, and they were asking people, like, you know, if he did this, and this, would you still vote? And a lot of people really don't care at all. They're gonna believe what they want to believe, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it's the issue of the folks believing. I think, you know, like
they don't matter what it is. They don't care. Yeah. He could have killed somebody yesterday, and it could be on camera. They don't care.
Yeah, but again,
those people exist.
Yeah, but the thing is that it goes to that image thing again. Like, I was talking to some white Republicans, and I was telling them, I said, so this goes against a lot of things that white Republicans swore up and down that they stood for. And I'm not a hater, you know, do what you want to. But now you can't be making these comments about Barack this, Barack that, and Dick Cheney screwed up everything, and you say nothing. You know, that's just that. I don't even understand how any of this goes. And lastly, as it relates to Trump, globalism, period, is shown. This virus is showing that globalism hasn't helped nobody. We would have been better to go back to the pre-Reagan days where everything was union. You could leave your high school and instantly get a $60,000-$70,000 basic job. All this stuff has really not helped. This whole NAFTA thing really ain't helped America none at all.
Okay, we having technical difficulties. Let me ask the panel this:
the coronavirus got his Wi-Fi system. You all right?
Yeah, man, the coronavirus got me. For the panel, long-term effects. What do you think is going to happen within the next 6 months?
Yeesh. Well, if people don't sit at home, it's gonna be bad. That's what I think.
It's fucked up, but I'm telling you, it like by the end of next month, everybody who's gonna get infected is gonna be infected, and it's gonna be a whole bunch of blowhards after the fact that's gonna fuck everything up. And it's really fucked up because I have Shy, you know, every year in April I take a trip when I go to Southeast Asia. I do Songkran. I live my birthday. I go hard in the paint. My girl was supposed to come. We're supposed to do this whole big explosion of seeing the world. And now,
you mean when you're running from the law?
I'm on the run. Yeah, I'm on the run. But yeah, no, all this shit fucked up because it's what 13 cities have international flights right now. So everything is condensed and everything is fucked up. Man, it's insanity, and it's fucked up. Well, like that man said, Southeast Asia, Thailand, they got a hold on the shit. I got friends in Cambodia and Thailand. They're like, yeah, it's here, but it's not that bad.
I think if America contains it, we'll forget about it quickly. That's what I think. we'll probably end up saying fuck the rest of the world. We're fine over here.
But do we have enough toilet paper to keep up?
I think that the toilet paper will be just fine. And if you run out of toilet paper, just go to using wipes. But don't flush them down the toilet. No, don't do that. You'll mess up your shit. Yeah.
All I know is 67 deaths in Seattle.
That's unfortunate.
And I'm quite sure folks thought everything was gravy. And that's all I can say. 60.
And then it turned up.
Deaths doing for the country, right? 67 is in Seattle. Apparently, the biggest outbreak as of today is in New York. Who are these deaths affecting? Are they affecting the elderly? Are they affecting the sickly? Are they affecting the common man? That's the question I have. Does anybody have an answer for you?
What demographic is it affecting most?
Well, first of all, it's only 20 deaths as of 24 hours ago. It's only 20 deaths in New York.
Yeah, but New York apparently has the highest concentration of people who just, I guess, tested, and that's probably because they have a better grasp on.
Oh no, they created their own tests.
They
created their own tests. So they just said, forget waiting on federal. We just gonna bankroll our own tests. Who got the best one going right now? Okay, we rolling with you. That's all they did. So,
which was Trump, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. So, but your question was, who has the best?
The question was the demographic of the people that are dying.
Oh, it's mostly older people and people with chronic.
Caucasian.
Yeah, chronic breathing.
What you're telling me is black people are immune. Gotcha. Get the real works. Got that bold is extra working.
All right, but my thing, but my thing is, let's not let our level of insensitivity climb. Like I said, it's like some of us have older people with in our families with chronic conditions, and I don't think that should be taken for a joke just because we're younger and we're healthier. You know, those people in those families got something they got to think about as far as keeping each other safe. So
here's an odd question. Maybe one of you knows it. I gear it towards probably Mr. Research because he's in the medical field. How many black people have died from this period point blank?
They don't track it like that.
Yeah.
So there's not a 5, 10, 15. It's just people. They're not saying black people, etc.
Nah, they're not saying that. It's just people.
Hey, and then I think it should be acknowledged that a lot of people aren't being tested, and then some people are only being tested after they die. And then some of them aren't even being tested after they die. They're just being disposed of.
And let me tell you this. When a black person dies from it, it'll be splayed all over social media.
That's where I was going.
Oh, we told you they can die. No.
Anytime a black
told you he had that Rona.
It's on social media. We got these NBA players. They caught it. Idris Elba caught it. You niggas ain't immune. And
Kevin Durant.
Yeah. That's why I'm curious at this point, who is actually walking into the water and drowning?
Like I said, they don't really talk about that. The only thing they say is about the older, and they said people with chronic respiratory situations. They don't say anything.
That's a tough life because I got respiratory issues like a motherfucker. I'm asthmatic. Listen, if y'all see me huffing and puffing in here, bring me an asthma inhaler and come call 911.
What's your concern? Not working, but working at the same time. What is your concern? What is your concern when you go to work, man? Like with your non-existent job.
So my thing is, my job has me travel, right? My job has me travel.
Tommy, don't let them talk about you like that, Tommy.
It's a running joke. It's real fucked up, but it's a running joke. People think I don't have a job, so it's like, all right, I don't have a job. I work at Starbucks part-time.
But Donnie be hijacking and using his frequent flyer miles to get on free trips.
But
when he used to work,
my employment has me flying to different cities, and it's fucked up because they're like, you want to go to this city? All right, I got you. All right, cool. I ain't afraid. I ain't no bitch around here. I ain't afraid. But when you get on these planes, you see the masses wearing. Excuse me. You see the masses wearing masks. I seen 2 people get on the plane in hazmat suits. This was the funniest shit I ever seen. They got hazmat suits, no mask, no gloves, just the hazmat suit. I'm sitting here going, why do y'all have hazmat suits on? But nothing else. Nothing else to protect you.
That's like eating the pussy and then turn around putting the condom on. Like you
But like right now, I'm in San Antonio. San Antonio is shut the fuck down. There is nothing out here. San Antonio shut down about 40 minutes ago. I was outside an hour and a half ago when I went on my little shy takeover break. I went outside to smoke. San Antonio was shut the fuck down. I live in Philly. Philly is supposed to be shut the fuck down, but really these bars letting people in. Miami.
You know damn well that you live in London.
Huh?
I say, you know you live in London. Or you can't.
Not too long ago. I was in Miami. I was watching TV, and the mayor got on was like, yo, niggas, stop going to the beach. Stop going to the fucking beach. I look out the window, and motherfuckers walking to the beach. I seen a chick sitting at the pool in her bikini drinking a beer with a mask on.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think that we are closing in on like a national self-quarantine? Like president just coming out saying everybody chill for 2 weeks, stay at your houses, don't go anywhere.
I don't believe
it's getting ready to be in 2 to 8 months. Easily.
I don't believe it based on the fact that they don't want to miss out on the money. I think they would let us
out your mind.
Come in and take over before they're like, hey, listen, y'all just got to sit at the house for a couple of weeks. It's too much money missed out. I don't think they'll do it.
Well, see, the last time this happened, the president used this opportunity to round up everybody's goals. And being that I know that the United States doesn't have any, we don't know what's getting ready to happen. They might be, putting those commercials on TV. Hey, if you want to turn in your gold again.
Well, I'll say this. The fact they don't have a cure as of right now, the fact all they can do is watch you and help you transition, that's all they really can do. And going back to Bianca's point, if it mutates again, look, man, I mean, what can you really say when people is falling off and you don't have a cure? And just because you had it once, a mild case, even in my situation, a mild case, you can reinfect yourself. I mean, you just really don't know. So I think this whole don't know thing puts the money stuff off to the side, because if cats is just falling, we're gonna be thinking about bread.
They were talking about where they said that they were trying to rush to find a cure, but the actual cure or whatever it was that they created to try to combat it was actually killing people too.
I think I heard about that.
That's a cure like a motherfucker.
Yeah, like.
Well, that's where the whole I Am Legend thing comes in at.
Cured your life too.
Not even. Yeah, I Am Legend. This is when Rick Grimes was passed the fuck out. All this shit popped up.
You know what? I think that people, the effect that this whole thing is having, I think that people are trying to rush to find a cure so they can monetize. Well, of course, it's going to be monetized. They want to monopolize the possible cash grab there too. Mm-hmm. Corporation, the way the big pharma is actually conducted right now, where nobody can regulate them, nobody can check them on anything. So if you find a cure and then you can basically just monopolize it, you're instantly rich. So they don't care because they don't have to go through a whole lot of hoops as far as testing. And right now with the given I guess urgency, like they're going to just skip a bunch of steps. So if they find something that's moderately okay and it just minimal, okay, man, we have 5 people died, but we cured 15 people. All right, good enough. They're going to push it.
Yeah. Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
And then if that happens, whoever it is that creates that, they can be refining it on the back end, but pushing it out to the public on the public front and get extremely rich for no reason because nobody's going to check them.
So,
well, that's what I think Donald Trump is trying to do.
We need to establish a radio frequency that we can all meet up at, and we can have in case this virus goes down and some zombie nation shit.
You don't hear about
that bunker niggas live in.
Like if you don't hear from me after this, because I've possibly uncovered the actual plan of people. I'm sorry. I love you all. Donnie, give all my video game stuff to Kev and my son. And leave it at that. But no, man.
Like I said, man, it's crazy because you got two people who claim they have created a version of a cure, but the drug people won't even let them really release because they're trying to stop them from doing human trials. And it's like, that goes to Def's point. It's like, I don't know, man. These cats, man, they kind of playing with fire because, like I said, if I see another mutation in 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know, man. That's going to look like people is going to up on the death scale list. And the reason I mentioned Seattle, it's at 67 right now. Imagine if Seattle hit 500, all the games are going to be over with. People are going to be like, hold on, man, it's fucking Christmas and this shit stop.
If they introduce something to that virus and then it mutates, becomes resilient to this, proposed cure, that knocks everything else off the table.
Absolutely.
It just completely destroys everything because you got a pseudo cure, something that's close to curing it, and then boom, you get the mutation active. Then what can you do? You're back to square one, but not only square one, you're completely fucked because all of your research is pretty much thrown out the window.
Yeah, thrown the crap. Yeah.
What do you think about getting off the subject a little bit? This chlamydia that they discovered in Antarctica or wherever it was discovered.
Atlanta is over with. Atlanta, goodbye. I miss you.
Because there's new strains of shit coming out that's been pre-existing for a while. It's just been like frozen forever. Yeah. Now that we got polar ice caps melting, we got gonorrhea and chlamydia, these different strains coming out.
So my number one fear is the Alaskan mosquitoes.
I didn't know mosquitoes could fucking exist in Alaska. Tell me about that.
The Alaskan mosquitoes are super aggressive. I mean, they run in packs.
Have you been to Pascagoula, Mississippi? Them motherfuckers will fight you through your pants.
No, but it's probably similar to it. But the because it's not as cold as it used to be in Alaska, it's actually getting very warm, and the polar bears are looking skinny as hell. Now these mosquitoes just start popping up everywhere, and when they see a little length of skin, they just attacking in packs. And a lot of these new viruses that's coming out of Alaska has to do with those mosquitoes because those mosquitoes have never been able to survive prior to now. And boy, when I tell you they hungry, they are hungry.
Fun fact: only female mosquitoes suck blood. I'm not gonna say anything like that being a metaphor for life. I'm just saying, fun fact. I told my wife that the other day. She was like, "You know what? Get out." So what type of diseases are coming out now that you mentioned it, though, on a serious note? Because I haven't even heard about that at all.
I mean, it's hard to say about the diseases because there's a lot of them are so mild that they're not, they don't really register on nothing. They in somebody's magazine report. Go ahead. Somebody was talking.
I'm sorry. That was me. I thought I was on mute. Sorry about that.
What you got? What you got, man?
Yeah. So go ahead, man.
I honestly, I've been trying to educate myself about this coronavirus the last few days because I really ain't been paying attention to it like that. And but based on what I'm hearing, I mean, it's still the flu at the end of the day. I mean, I ain't trying to get it. I'm taking my precautions, using the latex gloves and stuff and whatnot. And not trying to go to a bunch of places that's unnecessary for me to go to. Looks like we're gonna hold a family reunion up. We might just put that to next year. That's how it's affected me. Family reunion, we ain't even sure about it right now. So
honestly,
that was gonna be like Memorial Day. We was talking about that. So that's probably not gonna happen at this point. So it's having an effect. But I mean, it's still the flu. I said the other day, I'm gonna I start really getting concerned if Rudy Gobert dies. So because what I'm hearing so far is that older people have died. No, I'm trying to be for real. Like I've heard that older people have died, but they had complications because of some type of respiratory illness they've already had. My little play niece, she was talking about she wanted to go somewhere for spring break. She wanted to leave the state and go to another state, but I basically said she can't go because she has asthma. So with the fact that it's been really affecting people with respiratory issues, I don't even want her around people like that. So I canceled that trip on her. But I'm looking at it like this, because I mean, it's hard to say what the truth is and what people are being told in other countries. I've heard that in China, 70,000 people had it that's getting over it. I heard it's not really hurting small children or pretty healthy adults. I've heard like it's barely any regular, normal, healthy adult that's really had any type of real issues with it. But, it's hard to say what the truth is right now. So I'm looking at Rudy Gobert. Hey, that's the first NBA player or professional athlete I heard to have it. I know Donovan Mitchell got it now. So it's like, okay, if they start having problems, I might get a little concerned. Now I heard Tom Hanks got it, but
it took Idris Elba to get it, to test positive for people to start taking it serious in the black community. I'm just saying.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Now I'd say this: I'm not on the clinical side, but here's what I do know about the whole corona thing. Corona just means that it's for a length of time. That's all. Length of time virus. That's all it really means. But that's why in medical people were saying, why call it a coronavirus when you haven't defined whether it's a length of time virus. You haven't being able to give it that, because a lot of people who get it end up dying. And the people who have mild cases, it falls into, just like what Roger said, the flu thing. So when you get a cold corona, you just get itchy eyes, allergies, stuffy nose, sneezing, that type of crap. When you get a flu influenza, you get, the fever, the fatigue, the body aches, the cough. Okay. When you get a corona, it's the fatigue, the body aches, the fever, and the shortness of breath, because you're getting inflamed lungs. And your lungs is saturating mucus on top of mucus on top of mucus until your lungs drown. And it's hard to stop that.
I think that is the graphic. That's what needs to be said, though, because people are taking it lightly and they're not understanding what exactly is going on with the body and why people are actually dying from it, because they're taking it so lightly. They don't understand what's actually going on inside the body. So you could say like, oh, well, I never had asthma. I'm not going to die. I don't have any underlying health issues. I'm fine. But that could affect you to a point where you're going to get fucked up. I think I was listening to a newscast today and somebody said that they ended up having pneumonia as well because it introduced other medical issues along with what was going on. And that's what affected them the most. And I think what it was a doctor from the area where it originated from.
And this is the first time I ever heard this 6 foot droplets thing. That's crazy within itself. 6 foot droplets. So if Bianca, well, I ain't gonna use Bianca. If Mickey Mouse sat up here and walked,
you cut out, man.
I said if Mickey Mouse sat up here and walked 6 feet in front of me and coughed, the minute I walked into that area where he coughed, the droplets are still in the air. That's the crazy thing. That I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah, I was running today, and there was some old people out there on the road since they closed the park, and I was like, well, shit, man, they out here, but I never thought about that. Well, I thought about it when I got home. When I got home, I was like, shit, man, if they was breathing, I ran right behind them. I might have ran right into it. I should have kept my ass in the house. So we'll know in a little bit.
What is my thinking is right now, it's kind of spreading kind of rapidly, I guess, but there's not really much you can do to prevent yourself from actually getting it, because if you can catch it by touching something somebody else touched, and if you can catch it, if it's airborne as well, it's only so much you can do at the end of the day. So my thing is like, don't worry about it to the point where you drive yourself crazy. And if younger folks start dying, like that's when I would like, okay, I really get concerned to a certain degree. I'm not saying I'm taking it lightly, because I am taking precautions, and I do recommend people take precautions. And in Illinois, something I heard yesterday, there's a nursing home in Illinois where they found out a person had it. It was one of the patients that had it. So then they tested everybody at the facility, as far as the residents and the caretakers that work at the facility. And then they found out it was 22 cases. So I got to say it must be spreading rapidly. But then at the end of the day, is it just older folks with complications dying? Because I'm not hearing that I'm not hearing anybody else actually die from it.
And they have to be introduced from where? From in the nursing home, like from one of the workers coming in?
Yeah, more than likely.
Right.
But my concern is it something that we need to panic about? Yes, be careful, but do we really need to panic? Because is it really killing like regular healthy people? Is it really doing that?
Well, let's.
I don't know how many people have it, but go ahead.
Let's start in China. The doctor that tried to tell everybody, I think he was 33.
Right. Yep. Because he got it.
Yeah, he was healthy as all outdoors. He died. One lady came in when it first started in November, and she instantly infected 14 healthcare workers.
Sheesh.
They didn't say which of those 14 healthcare workers survived, but they definitely wasn't old. So
you think they're downplaying it?
It's really an unseen thing, man, because it's like you really can't call it like that. The only thing we able to say is it hasn't killed a kid yet. Now, if you mess around and kill a kid, or going back to Bianca's point, you mess around, have these birds start dropping out the air. Fuck.
Man, if I start seeing dead birds all over the place, I'm gonna lose my shit, bro.
Yeah, and that's why even as a joke, because I know somebody else laughed when I first said it, when I found out Rudy Gobert had it. I said, I mean, right now I'm using him as a measuring stick, because if he got it, and they said that but he wasn't taking this serious when he first had it, and he was playing around, touching people's stuff or whatever. He even made a public apology about being careless about it and everything. So potentially the whole Utah Jazz has it potentially, and they were when they found out Rudy Gobert had it, they were about to play OKC. So by y'all saying Kevin Durant got it, that's not surprising to me, because that was the other team they was about to face. So that's not super surprising to me if he has it too. But my thing is, now if I see problem with these athletes who are like the healthiest amongst us, okay, then now I mean, me personally, I ain't gonna panic regardless, but I could understand more of a panic. But if it's just something that a lot of folks are getting, but they're actually getting past it like any other flu, we don't need to panic the way people seem to be panicking.
But it almost seems unavoidable when, like, when you think about it, it almost seems like it's unavoidable.
So this brings me to a conversation of if you got it and you have it confirmed, right? How do you respond from here on out? What do you do? What is your lifestyle? So I want to take it one by one. How about we go from first person I see on the list is Mr. Research, then Shy.
I'll make mine real quick. Think about your family, man.
Yeah.
Because assuming you don't want to infect your kid, you don't want to infect the wife, the grandma, whoever. You got to think about that family. And that's why I think it's really wrong with our community specifically. We got too many selfish folks up in this point. It's like, man, be a warrior. Go out there in the middle of nowhere in that, in that garage or that whatever, and isolate yourself. Think about your people.
Bruh, I was literally about to say, because I got a shed in the backyard, and I got a pretty big backyard.
We'll live in the shed.
Yeah, I'm in the shed, man, with the big red doors.
Yeah, Wi-Fi. I'm good.
Yeah, for real. For real. I'll run the extension cord all the way out there and bring my computer out there. I'll keep in touch with everybody that way. But no, in all seriousness, I really did take serious thought about it, and I was thinking, all right, so I'm gonna have to start hunting and start. I would literally go and isolate myself away from everybody else, because I really don't want my wife to get it. I don't want my daughter to get it. I don't want anybody that I care about to get it, because I don't want to be the cause of something serious happening to them. So to that means I will go back to my military training. I'm just going to take care of myself until it runs its course, or admit myself to a hospital where I can get treatment. But I'll take myself out of the situation so I don't infect anybody else, because you don't want that on your conscience, first of all, and you want to protect the people you care about. But that's what I would do. I would probably, and then I got free healthcare being a military a veteran, so I would take my ass to the VA, let them handle
it. Rod,
shit, they might kill my ass. Shit, at halftime they throw pills at you.
Rod, you got no kids, you ain't got no wife, you ain't got no family.
Yeah, but regardless to that, we all get around people from time to time, so we gotta, you still gotta care about trying not to spread it to people, because the more people I spread it to, the more likely it is to hit somebody I love. So I would think about it. I would think a person, they should just go to the basement. Go to a basement. We all got family and whatnot. If you get it, go to the basement. Let everybody know you got it. Go to the basement. Let your family bring you food to the basement. And they get away from you, then you can get your food, because you can still do what you got to do.
Just leave it at the door, huh?
Well, I'm saying go to a separate room or a basement or something, just to kind of stop it spreading. You don't really need to be out in the community anyway. Right. And if you do have family that can help take care of you, I would do that route. Now, as far as from a large public basis, if we see that it's really that bad, if I had the power to do so, I would set up at least a spot in each state where you could drop. I would build a corona community. I just say that for the moment. Build a area or use a facility that's an existing facility where people who have it can come commune at the same spot, so we can figure out how to get rid of it. And if it's really going to cause an issue, just go to whatever this particular spot is. It should be a facility that's kind of out the way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a prison is not being used, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Or, a building that the government owns that they really don't need, they're not using right now. Let people go there.
I'm telling you now.
Well, it's all about what I could do. I don't have the power to just set up something for hey, a whole state of people. If you get it, come here. But something like that should be done.
Listen, there was a post. No, there was a news article, and it was a church. They said, if you're sick, you can come to our church, and we will anoint you with oil.
Oh God!
You think I'm playing? It's on my page right now.
Full of extent. Bianca, how do you feel? You ain't got no kids, so if you caught it, how are you responding, reacting? What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna say first of all that I'm not gonna catch it, but second of all,
I knew she was gonna say that. I knew she was gonna say that.
All I'm saying is this: I've taken the steps to self-quarantine before self-quarantine was a thing. I'm not playing. No, I don't want to be next to anybody. If you are one of those high-risk groups, I definitely don't want to be next to you, because I may be asymptomatic and don't know it. I just don't want to take any risks. So my strategy is to stay where I'm at right now until this shit blows over. Now, and please don't come knock on the door.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I'm coming to visit you next weekend, love. We're not going out. We're not turning up.
You can talk to me through a window, at the liquor store in Detroit. You know how they got them real thick ass glass liquor store windows? Yeah, you can do that. But yeah, and my thing is, with everybody, I really think that people are taking this shit super light, because the rub with Americans is if they don't see it in person, and even then it's questionable. But if they don't see it in person, it's like watching the television. They have been desensitized to the point where they don't believe shit stink. So they're gonna have to see it and feel it before they believe it. And I don't subscribe to that. Like, you can tell me and I'll believe you. Right. So when it gets real to them, at that point, it'll be beyond the point of return. And I'll be prepared for that too.
Is it bad that I've already got plans to, like, I'm going to go see George Zimmerman? I'm like, oh, okay, I got the corona. George Zimmerman live over here. I'm trying to get the Airbnb close to him. I'm touching the doorknob. I'm touching everything. I'm trying to get that motherfucker done.
Yeah, you tripping. That's too much energy on someone that's probably a high risk.
I can't say it would be bad to do that. You know, I mean, to any other person, sure, that'd be bad, but him.
Well, you see, Trump gave Pelosi a kiss on the cheek this morning.
You're like, yeah, bitch, I got that shit. Now what you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I like what Beyonce said about people need to take it serious. Like, man, take some time out, educate yourself about it. You know, that's what I've been doing over the last few days. You know, because it ain't gonna help you not to be educated about it. You know, and nowadays you can isolate yourself and do it. I mean, like, let's say somebody really had it and you need to isolate yourself. Like, it's so much stuff you can do by yourself until. Even if you had to be like by yourself for like 60 days, there's so much Netflix and Disney Plus, YouTube. I mean, there's so much stuff out there.
Crashing. Why don't you invest?
You know,
do something with your
you know what?
Time.
And that's what I did, man. I went and got Robinhood, the Robinhood app, and checked it out. Did some research, figured out what stocks could possibly turn around.
Please send me an invitation.
Bro, I was just talking about that earlier today. I'm like, man, this would be a good time to invest.
Yeah, because I sat and I thought about it. I was like, okay, what stocks can I buy? Because they're dropping drastically.
Bitcoin, every American airline,
everything
lit. Every American hotel franchise is lit. You need to get on the ball with these.
American Airlines fell to like $14 the other day, man.
Well, American Airlines specifically is on one, because I think American is one of the big three, and they're the lowest. They're on par with like JetBlue. But like all the American hotel franchises like Marriott, the MGM, all the motherfuckers is fucking up right now.
Oh shit! I was thinking, shoot, I didn't have the money to invest at one point. I wish I should have, because you're older now, so you're thinking, shit, I should have invested in XYZ. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Apple, AMD.
Well, now you're at the position where you can.
Exactly. And I'm like, you know what? It's kind of fucked up when you think about it, but shit.
A simple come up would be Bitcoin. Right. Is at 14 right now, 14K, 1400. No, I'm sorry. It's 4,000, no, 5,670.
And listen, the other day it was 6,000 and it went down. And now today it's around 4,505.
It's 45.5. So if you can actually around the corner, they have a Bitcoin ATM. I'm probably gonna drop 5 into it just right now. If you wait probably 3 months, when this bullshit's over, that shit'll go back up to 9. You won.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna say this real quick, y'all. Y'all remember that old saying?
Shy, I'll be right back.
Yeah, remember that old saying: the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, but the next best time is today. So if y'all got a good idea out there, you know, you want to invest in something, or you come up with some idea that you feel it work, man, today ain't no time like the present. That's what my dad always tell us. Ain't no time like the present.
Bianca, where can I send this link to?
Can you drop it in one of these back chats?
Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, I sure can. Sure can. Let me see. I gotta find one that you in right now. But yeah, my buddy, he hit me up to it, and I was thinking, shit, you know what? That's smart. So I just started doing research on different stocks, different companies that I'm interested in, also the ones that I think that, you know what, I might be able to make some money off of this. So if they're cheap enough, go ahead and invest the money now, and then when the stock market don't immediately sell, because right now we're about to hit a recession. I should be honest about it.
Yeah.
Companies that normally you couldn't afford, you can buy numerous amounts of stock And then once that stock goes back up, you hold on it. You can actually create yourself a legacy if you're smart about it.
Absolutely.
I wish that I would have invested in Apple. I wish that I would have invested in like Google or Microsoft or all that stuff back in the day. Now you have a chance to do so. Unfortunately, it's during a time where people getting fucked up. But hey, be smart about it. Take that money that the government's supposed to be giving you, invest that shit.
People die every day, B. People die every day.
Every day. Let me see. I'm trying to find where you at there. I think you're in here. Yep, there you go. All right, I'm about to drop it in one. Let me know if you see the link pop up.
Okay, let me go look.
All right, I gotta dip out. So I'm just gonna say, long live the habitual line steppers, and I'll holler at y'all later.
That's what's up, man. Hey, thanks for getting on, man.
Much appreciate you, bro. Come on anytime when your phone's not acting
up. You ain't shit, bro. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put
this. And you ain't shit for watching.
I'm gonna drop this in the chat for the live right now. So anybody who's watching, they can also do the same thing. You might as well be smart.
So, Shy, within reason, is there anything the military is telling you that we can know that's not like confidential or whatever?
Some stuff is top secret that I can't talk about, but for the main thing is everything that you guys know and you're abreast of right now, as far as like taking care of yourself, cleanliness, travel and stuff like that, stick to that. I mean, there's only so much you can do. So you got Bianca, she can speak about it all, but honestly, that's the best you can do is be prepared, self-quarantine, and stick to that routine. Create some type of routine. If you're not being forced to come to work, don't go. Please don't. If you don't have to be in public spaces where you're around a lot of different people, don't put yourself in this situation. The most you can do is just think ahead, find a way to get whatever it is that you're trying to get done. If you get it done without interacting with anybody, do that. If you're going to put yourself at risk at being involved with anybody that could possibly be in contact with it, don't bother with it. If you got everything you need at the house, stay your ass at the house. Shoot, I ain't saying hi to my neighbors. I don't care how long we've been out here. It's just a risk. I'm not taking that risk. I'm not going to get it. I'm not even going to put myself in a risk. But yeah, man, as far as the government goes, shit, right now on base, what we're doing is usually the gate guard, they take your ID, they scan the code and all that good stuff. They're not even doing that now. Like they're not touching anything that you have. You got to hold it out, they scan it, and they keep it moving. And then if you are non-essential personnel on base and you don't have to be there, they're telling you to stay home. If there are any flights and missions that we have going out to different places that we can possibly come in contact with, as far as like locals in different states, we're not going to those different places. Now, if something happens to where we have to be activated and help the public, we were going to be putting ourselves at risk more than anybody else, but we're going to be there for the public. As far as like relief efforts and stuff like that. But there's only so much we can do because the government, they don't want us to put ourselves at risk as well. All right. Did you get that link? Bianca? All right. I don't know what's going on here.
My bad. I'm here.
Yeah. Did you get the link?
Oh no, I did not.
Okay. I ended up dropping it in the YouTube chat or okay. I dropped it in YouTube chat. So you can see it right there.
Okay.
I think if you sign up using a different link, I think if you sign up, they actually give you get a possibility of getting free stock in these different big name corporations as well.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely. I saw that the other day. I just didn't move on the link fast enough because I had other stuff going on. So yeah, I definitely need to do that today.
Yeah, they're offering stock in like Apple, Ford, Facebook. I think Apple, the highest I saw was like maybe 652 per, or maybe it may have been 5 something.
All right. So while the mice is away, the cat will play. Or however that shit go. I went and got some hot wings. Like, I'm in a hotel, had to live my best life. Was you giving out stock information?
Yeah, man, I dropped that link in the chat, bro. I sure did.
Did you tell the people the next Google?
The next what?
The next Google.
The next Google.
The next Amazon.
I saw Google invented. That's how old I am.
I put my stock in the Pornhub, player. No, black people need to be invested in stock. And right now is a prime opportunity. Niggas want to spend their tax refund check on bullshit, but really, you have a tax refund check to spend on the stock market that's going to appreciate in value if you pick it right. So you got to get with somebody who knows something, or like legitimately knows something, not the nigga next door. And do some research and find out what's really going to pop off in the next 6 months.
You know, the funny thing about it is all the research and all the information is out there. Just the thing is, people don't know what they're dealing with, so they don't bother with it. The research is right. It's like, it's so plain and simple. And when you really break it all down, like the stock market and stuff, it's really gambling. That's all it is. You pick stock in a company that you possibly think might pop off. You buy stock low and you sell high. That's all it boils down to. And also in that Robinhood app that I gave you a link to, they do have an option of day trading, but I think you have to be on the app long enough for it to activate, because some people really get fucked up and lose a lot of money. So I would say stick to just buying stock and doing research. You can see real-time data being projected within the app also as you have it open in the interface. So you can actually see it fluctuate. It'll tell you the all-time high, the all-time low, and then what it is per that day. But you'll see when you get in there. Because when I get this little check from Trump, I might just go ahead and put that in my little Robinhood app and then put that in my account and buy some more stock. Yep, that's the plan. So
I don't know if I'm even going to touch that check from Trump.
Might just leave it in a separate account just in case they ask for it back.
It would depend on what would be the requirements. Like, what do you want to know in order for me to receive it, or are you just going to send it to all the addresses that you have on file?
You think it might have some stipulation that you're not ready to deal with?
Well, it might be like some type of registry for it. You know, like if you go online and register here for your check, I don't think I'll do that.
That's when the Gestapo coming to get you.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna register for this check.
That sounds like a cartoon. The Gestapo coming. You register for $500? Yeah, they come to get your life. If he does release this, are y'all voting for him?
No.
Man, I'm military. I don't vote for nobody. I gotta do whatever it is anyway. You know what I mean?
That part.
I mean, it like regardless, it don't matter who it is. I care about my fellow American man more than anything. I care about my military brethren who are on the same page as me, and I'm there for that. Because once you fought in an actual war and you realize none of that shit matters except for the person next to you, that's when you see a big picture.
I fought in Call of Duty.
Unfortunately, man, it don't count. But I thank you for your service. No, man, like that. But really, real talk though, once you get in a real war zone, you start getting shot at. You like, man, it don't matter who you voted for. Like, you the ones getting fucked over. You the one getting shot at. Everybody else, stay safe. You not.
Yeah, that seems to be a common thing. How do you think that this affects? And we kind of got into this, and I really hate getting to the subject, but kids raised on the system welfare, etc.
I think that there's a set of skills that we do not have as far as like surviving and figuring out what's going on, because you're basically just taking the tit away from the baby's mouth, and the baby are grown ass people. You got people who are dependent on these different programs to sustain themselves as far as adults, because they've gotten used to not having to do shit to get by. And unfortunately, we've been so used to just getting by that when something like this happens to where you're actually cut off and you have not prepared yourself to live for X amount of months from then on, you fucked.
Now, I say this as a disclaimer. I'm asking Bianca this not to be funny or slick. Bianca, how is the welfare class doing? Bianca is a social worker, so she works with kids, families, mothers, parents, fathers, etc., that are struggling, right? How is the welfare class doing?
I mean, pretty much the same. Everybody wants their benefits. Huh?
Nothing changed.
No, nothing has changed. I mean, there's like the sense of urgency because everybody is trying to be prepared for, what will be, an undetermined amount of time of isolation. So you just kind of have people like wanting to get their cases processed quickly, like that. But I mean, the main thing that I've been paying attention to for the last few weeks there, and that I'm sorry, y'all. Listen,
that's fine if you're selfish. That's one thing I care about in this household too.
What's selfish? I'm from home, so now I can help because I put me first, and I made sure that I spoke up for myself. I'm coming into this office, now I can.
That's checking yourself out the game, huh?
Yeah, people ain't here for that time. Because
you mainly work with children.
Say that again.
I said you mainly work with children.
Every time you say mainly, it goes away.
Children.
I said you mainly work with kids, like
no service, elderly people, and children. That's who I serve. You have to level of income in order to qualify. And you have children in the household to qualify for. You have to work a certain amount of hours for certain programs. So now you have people that fall under that work requirement. So they'll.
Oh, word. So if you don't work a certain amount of hours, you lose your benefits.
Yeah, here to get food stamps when you are between 49 at least 20 hours a month and earn to qualify for food assistance. And if you don't, you'll be sanctioned.
What about like Uber, Lyft, those kind of ride sharing apps and bullshit like that?
You mean people that work for Uber, Lyft, Uber and
yeah, Bianca in the bathtub.
So they got like Uber, Lyft, Postmates, shit like that.
Bianca's in the bathtub right now, man.
We're self-employed.
Turn your camera on, Bianca, while you talking.
I'm
so yeah, no
not kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Sure you are.
Washing them feet that we saw earlier, but
and they're like, nope, you ain't gonna catch me.
She left. She dropped her phone in the water.
No, I'm real curious how like basically poverty level people are doing because you don't have the money or the access to healthcare like everybody else does.
We have some people that are working the system and applying to like Section 8 and stuff like that in different areas, just trying to get somewhere, kind of milk the system some kind of way, and then hook yourself up like that. It's crazy how people manipulate the system, man, and take away from programs that are supposed to help people when they're able-bodied citizens that could do work for themselves. That's crazy.
Yeah. One of my favorite documentaries is The Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Have you ever seen that?
With the welfare manipulation?
Man, and them white folks get it the fuck in.
There was one woman that was in like a big ass house, and she still was getting welfare and food stamps because she had tricked the system, and she was manipulating it and was proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, there's a family somewhere who really, really needs these programs, and they're taken away from it. And her response was, "It's there. Why not?"
I'm here first. Bye. But Bianca, what were you saying while you was in the bathtub? With your Bath and Body Works bomb?
With that honeydew melon?
That is so disgusting.
The equivalent of Axe body spray for women.
But no, that's a paradox. Like people that have to work a certain amount of hours, they're not meeting those requirements, so their benefits will be cut off. Like I just had, for example, college students can't get benefits if they don't work at least 80 hours a month. I have a college student that was sent home because you're on self-quarantine. So because she's fallen under the 80 hours, and then she applied because I'm not working, so now I need food stamps. So because you're in college, you don't qualify. You're an ineligible student. So you'll get benefits for March because you worked in March, but you're only getting partial benefits. So she might get $80. And this is what she's supposed to take to go stock her shelves with.
Ramen life.
Wow.
That's
so. This is the paradox. This is why I tell people, don't talk about people that's on food stamps and stuff like that, because you really don't even understand the ins and outs of the programs.
Mr. Research,
there's a lot of.
I want to know what that to say. He researched.
Yeah, there's a lot of trickery involved with it, and then plus, when you understand where the poverty line is, anybody that makes less than that a month should be broke. I mean, $2,000 a month isn't a lot of money when your rent is $1,000, and your car note is $300, and your insurance is $175.
But here's my thing: if your rent is $1,000, you make $2,000, and your car note is $300, we have a problem from get-go.
I'm just telling you what the reality is.
Yeah, people come in with that shit all the time. I understand, I get it, but that's part of the problem. Nigga, you need to take the bus. Nigga, you need to get you that $2,000 beater car. But yeah, I get it.
But what if you live in an area, a rural area, where there are no buses, or the buses are only once a day?
That's what I'm saying. You got to get that beater car. That beater car will save you. Because motherfuckers go ahead and get it. Because $300 a month, unless your credit is stupid bad, a reasonable car shouldn't cost that much.
All you need something. All you need is something to get you from point A to B.
I absolutely agree. But this is the scenario. So, I mean, all this is to be determined, how it'll be handled and how it'll turn out and everything and all that. Because, like I said, they just sent everybody home today. And then you still have to have the process of everybody getting set up and being able to service these people from home. And that's a whole nother thing in itself, because, again, we're behind the power curve. We've been listening to Donald Trump for the last month, 2 months, shit, since November.
So what do you guys do when they contact you and they say, hey, Reggie is beating his children. I'm in fear for their life. XYZ, XYZ. Are you guys making home business? Or are you saying, well, you know what? I'll holler at y'all in two.
I don't do that.
Do you know what does happens? Since you don't do
what
it?
If Reggie's beating up somebody?
Yeah, he beating his kids and shit.
They still gotta go out.
Just it's mandatory after that, because it's a legitimate. Well, you don't know if it's legitimate, so you have to check on it to see whether or not it is or not.
That's a civil servant.
Man. Oh man. Anyway, guys.
Yeah, I'm finna tap out.
I owe the wife some quality time since we quarantine.
Me too. I mean, well, not the wife, but
you niggas gonna get your final words. I'm gonna give it to you, Shy, first, then the lovely, the incredible, the incorrigible Mianka, and if Mr. Research is still here, we'll go from there.
Final thoughts is that I do think that there's a lot of different factors that we are not being told about. There are a lot of different things that we don't know, and for that simple matter, or for that simple fact alone, I think people need to take extra precautions to protect themselves and just be smart about the entire situation. Be cognizant of the information that is out there. Do your own research, and then also protect yourself, not for only yourself, but also for your family and anybody else who you could possibly infect if it affects you. Anyway, that's about it, man. Be smart about this whole thing. Don't take it as a joke. I know that we have all these different memes about it right now, but just take it seriously and protect yourself. That's about it. You can catch me on Darth Skater 7, Tech Channel, Gaming Channel, and that's about it, man. Next.
Much appreciated. Miss Bianca Love.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to the habitual line steppers. For long live.
Hey, Bianca, hop on, do your damn thing. I gotta holler at you after this feed is over, so don't get off. But please drop your final thoughts.
No, I just wanted to say thanks for having me. I would encourage people to be smart and sit down somewhere. Get to know yourself. If you are uncomfortable being in your own space with yourself, then you absolutely need this time by yourself because you have some unaddressed bullshit, and this is why you're probably not relating to people in your life well, and that's just a guess, but I'm probably right. So yeah, I wish and pray that everybody has that we just kind of work through this together and don't have too many L's and have a lot of growth. That's it.
Thank you, much obliged, Mr. Research. Wake up, nigga. Mr. Research, you there?
Hey, yo, you can't talk about nobody being asleep.
Yeah, I can. You there? Nah.
Shit, Ford stock is down to $4.54 right now, man.
Well, in the meantime, in between time, since he ain't speaking, basically, I want to say this. Hey, everybody out there, be fucking careful. These motherfuckers ain't telling you the whole truth, everything the truth, and but the truth. They giving you sections of the truth. I fully support black people out here doing black things and black business and black everything. Get your toilet paper game together. Communicate with your people in your community. Help each other out. If you know somebody next door is starving, struggling, and whatever it is, I'm not saying go and hand it to them. Just put it on the porch for that nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Help your community out because that's what you were supposed to do. If your community don't help you out, you ain't gonna make it. White folks do it, Asian folks do it, everything else. As far as me, if I get the Rona, I'm gonna drink me a whole gang of ginger ale, that bullshit. I heard it knock it out. Cool. We in the game. Hey, if it don't knock it out, I'm coming to see you, George. Mr. Zimmerman, I'm coming to see you, my nigga. Aside from that, on more than one occasion, I'm certain, I'm positive, I know you heard something from me or somebody else on my panel that said something that they ain't shit. Well, guess what? You ain't shit for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, and that little bell in the corner. I love you, and we out.
I don't love none of you motherfuckers.